Hi, everybody. This is the not just the talk about staking, but the preview of it as well. We're literally virtually done with phase one of staking, and at this point, it's already deployed. The contract is already deployed on mainnet, and we're running some last-minute tests. I'll show you guys the interface for it, and let's see. And if anyone has any questions, I will be watching in purgatory. If anyone wants to post any questions for us while we do it. So where to start? Let's go over the basics of our staking system. So the approach that I took with this was, right now there's a lot of issues, as you guys know, with the SEC. And one of the reasons why a lot of projects are getting into trouble with the SEC is because they are releasing securities, like staking tokens. That's basically what the SEC is going after. I believe it's going after Yuga on. But there is a lot of attention on the space. But there are other ways to do staking, and that's what we're focusing on. The way that our staking works is that basically you transfer. It's a lot like the Zooverse staking and Sappy Seals. You transfer your NFT. Oh,
very rarely. Only when I get,
hey, Darkos,
this time of year,
I'm going to mute you. Hold on. Darkos, I put you on mute only because we're hearing the background noise from your room, but I'm glad you're here and listening, and I will unmute you anytime. Just ask in purgatory. So it's a lot like Sappy Seals and Zooverse is doing in that you take your NFT, you send it to the staking contract, and you get back a placeholder NFT. The placeholder NFT is a staking NFT. What's really great about this is that placeholder NFT has all the properties of your NFT that you've staked. Why is this important? It means that we can query it for things like what factions you should be in. We can query it for giveaways on the server. So what it does is it enables us, even though your NFT is staked in the contract, it enables us to have a way to see what your holdings are so that we can still give out roles in the server, we can still run giveaways, and all that kind of stuff. The advantage for the entire project is that, NFTs that are staked, for the people who are staking, they'll get to participate in more rewards. And for the project overall, it'll bring the listings down on it. Let's see. There's also one more huge benefit. I don't know about you guys, but I care every time I see someone get a kitten stolen. And one of the things that we put in there is security. Your placeholder token that you get, people will not be able to trick you into authorizing them to steal that token. It will only be transferable through the staking contract. So basically, when you stake your NFT to the contract, it'll now act as security that you'll get back a staking token and people won't be able to steal your NFT. Now, it won't protect against everything. If they get control of your wallet, or if they trick you into actually, if they get control of your wallet, then if they unstake your NFT, then obviously that would be the same as if you unstake the NFT.
Just know that I'm in the house for the rest of the day.
But
I was UPS delivery. Somehow he couldn't get.
Hold on, Ronan. I'm gonna mute your mic, Ronan, for now, because I can hear that you are getting a UPS, or that was UPS delivering. But don't worry, guys. I will unmute you after the talk. So what I was saying was that if someone manages to get control of your computer and unstake your NFT, they'll be able to take it. But what they won't be able to do is they won't be able to do that trick that gets everyone caught, which where you think you're doing one transaction and you prove your staking NFT to get transferred, or you approve your NFT to get transferred, and then they steal it from you. So that's one of the things I'm really excited about. It's also one of the reasons why it took us an extra week. But it gets protection in there for your NFTs that are staked. Also, a little bit of good news. We've been testing this on mainnet, and to stake one NFT when, you obviously don't stake it during the high point of the day, but when Gwei is low, when it's hitting around, I tested around 15 Gwei yesterday, and it was about $3 to stake the first time. Another really cool thing that we did is a new thing we did, which is that a lot of the times with staking, what they'll do is they'll generate a new staking token each time you stake and unstake. So what we did was something kind of cool. And I'm also I'll show you guys the staking interface shortly. What we did was something kind of cool, which is we actually set it up so that the first time you stake an NFT, it mints a new staking token for you. No problem, Ronan. Here, Ronan, I'll unserver mute you. There you go, and then just go ahead and mute it when you're not talking. And so, wait, no, I was wrong. I'm still hearing noises from you, Ronan. I'm back. No, it's fine. It's fine. So, by the way, if anyone's wondering, I'm responding in purgatory to messages. So if you've got anything that you want to say, if you can't talk, feel free to message in purgatory. So the first time staking costs more, and then if you are unstaking, restaking the same NFT, or if anyone else has staked it before, it's half that. So at 12 to 15 Gwei, you'd probably be paying $1.50 to stake an NFT. We kept it super low cost on that, and I'm excited about that. Let's see. So let me do something here, which is sharing my screen. Boom.
Can I ask you a question, Josh?
Yeah, everybody can ask questions. Please go ahead.
Is this something that's relatively going to be easy to do with the ledger?
We specifically put both MetaMask and Wallet Connect in so that people could do it with a ledger as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hold on a second. Let me take a look here.
That saves the gas on having to send them out.
Huh?
That saves the gas having to send them out of the wallet.
That is true. And this is currently our test site, so you guys can all see it. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So super simple. Connect. You get a chance of MetaMask or Wallet Connect. I'm gonna use MetaMask. If you notice, we've got staking possibilities for all three of our of Videocracy's projects. And
Awesome.
if you notice here, shows you what you have what you have. You can hit stake all if you want, or you can pick a couple. Like, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and stake. Which one do I want to stake first? My joint smoking logo guy. I'm going to hit stake. MetaMask pops up. And let's see what's market. Right now, Gwei is a little high. But it's still only $9 to stake. 0.0078 ETH. Nothing. What I would do here is I would wait until Gwei is lower later in the day, like I said, when it's not the peak of the day, like 10 a.m. before Christmas. This was only about $3. Let's see. I might just make it a little faster. Boom. So now it's working on the transaction. When that's done, your NFT will be staked. And that's it. Don't go ahead and use this interface yet, but you can tell now it shows you there's the unstaked, there's the staked. This is actually from our staking contract. So this is staked. We're just doing a few tweaks to the interface before we publish it live, but it's all working. And I'm curious because I haven't tested this out on mainnet yet. Let's see. Well, I have to double check. I know we can verify it. But that's it. That is a staked. And these are the unstaked NFTs. Voila. That's how easy it is to stake things with our system. So anybody have any questions?
So, from my understanding, when you stake something, or my experience, I should say, when you stake something, you get like a coin or something in return. Do we get a coin or what? I don't know. So what? I'm a little bit confused. I'm sorry.
Okay. Really simple. We're not doing a coin. That's what I was talking about with the SEC earlier.
Oh, yeah. I just didn't know like where that ended.
That ends with not doing a token, with doing the other type of staking, like the type of staking that Moonbirds does, where you can offer rewards based on staking.
Honestly, I've never had that type of staking, so I don't know anything about that.
Right.
That's dope.
Yeah. And another thing too about that is, staking for tokens was kind of all the rage during the bull run, and every token did great, and it was wonderful for, it was really cool, wonderful for projects. But then like you look at every major token staking reward system, and all of them have dropped horrendously in value, and holders get upset. And this way you can focus on getting the rewards for things being staked instead of what value that the token may have. The value is in the rewards that the project.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh. So,
hey,
kind of keeping quiet out there, but let me ask a few questions, because you're aware that I'm in Crazy Bears and they have a staking thing, and basically I got my bears staked, and I get like credits, I guess it would say. It's not like an actual token. It's more like a credit. And I
Right.
can use my credits to like get raffle tickets and stuff like that. Is that kind of what you're thinking?
So we have created the structure here that if it's popular enough and goes forward, I can build that foundation on top of this. I actually architected this with that in mind, but even as it is now, we can already do things like we can verify who's staked or not to like run special giveaways for special prizes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I mean, I would say this. I would encourage you, and I don't know if you have already. You may have already done it. Is to get a bear. They're like $12. You can get into the platform. You can mess around with it. There's a lot of great ideas in that platform for stuff, and you may want to do it differently. But I like the aspect of like how they do the raffle tickets, how they do the giveaways and that kind of stuff. They do mini collections, which is pretty cool because you can, as long as you're an owner and you're staked, you get credits and you can do a mini collection. So there's like mini drawings and stuff like that. I know it's not the same thing as, what David would have to do some, more sketches and stuff like that. But I like the ideas that they have in there, and I think, just something to think about.
You remember when you gave me a little tour of those guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the ideas too.
Yeah, cool. All right.
Yeah, and in a large part, how do I put this? I'm going to say this very carefully. If I was to say that that's where I wanted to go, people would be disappointed if we didn't deliver it.
That's very true.
Yes. What I will say is that I absolutely like the idea, and I have architected this foundation so we can build on it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying. It's like, don't want to overpromise, but there's a lot of potential that we could put in this, and ideas are being formulated as we go. I got you.
Exactly right, my friend. Exactly right. And there's lots of fun ideas from potential prizes that we can do, limited edition prints, lots of stuff. And the first step in that was getting the staking going for you guys, right?
Yeah, honestly, that's actually now that I think about it, that's actually what they had to do with bears, because they had to actually get the foundation piece in, and then everybody was like, well, now what happens? I think you're at that point now, it's like,
yeah.
So yeah, okay, all right, I got to go back in history on my brain, so okay, I get it.
Well, and also, I actually can take it a step further, that we actually have tools now that can verify these NFTs. For example, Collabland and Alphabot. So I can actually run the verifications on your NFTs. So we can run giveaways even if there is no other structure in place, like a more advanced raffle system and or marketplace yet. It makes sense?
Yeah, exactly. No, I get it. So now it's like you can basically, as we're trying to build the more sophisticated interface, we can do some manual stuff. And then maybe some of that stuff can feed into ideas that we automate stuff. Yeah, so I had to go back. I mean, honestly, Bears has been trying to put this together for a year, right? So that's something that I have to check with myself. It didn't just happen overnight. I actually forgot about the project for about 6 months and then went back to it.
And they got a great marketplace.
Yeah, now it's like all cooked up in that, and I'm like, so I'm in it and I'm doing a thing, and I just kind of forgot all the pain that they went through. So yeah, yeah. So I'll stop being fussy and realize that we're at the growing phase.
Aww.
And realize that we'll get there. In the end, we just got to build the blocks like everybody else did. So yeah, sounds good.
Thank you, brother. That means a lot to me. It
Yeah,
really
it's
does.
sometimes after you've gone through it, you just block it out, and so I think that's where I'm at. So I need to realize that IT is always a evolving thing. In fact, that's what I do, and we're at phase 1, and we got maybe 12 phases to get there. But we could do, like you said, we could do some manual stuff along the way once you get the base line in. So yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah, and this is like our first step to being able to distinguish who's staked and who's not staked for rewards and other cool things. And thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. It's good to hear your voice, buddy. I'm really happy for people to see the staking going, because it's one of the first signs that you guys get that, oh, these guys are actually doing something behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I mean, I just be honest with you, man. I mean, I got super fussy for a little while, just like I'm going into a hole, so I didn't want to. But I'm okay. I like what. I'll be honest with you. When you showed the interface just now, I actually really like what you did with it. It looks really clean from a system design standpoint.
Nice.
It looks fun. It looks fun looking, and that's one thing I think is important that people kind of forget about. That sometimes. Like you could do staking and you could kind of do just this boring interface that it's like, okay, they're staked, which I've seen before. But if you got something that looks fun, then people get excited about it. And I like the way it looks. So I just want to give you some kudos to that.
God, that is really good to hear. I was hoping that people would take it that way, because it's like, push the fun button, that type of thing. It's nice. That's really great feedback. And it's also good feedback going forward. What I'm hoping is that this is the first step in that being a portal where I can give you guys other things. Like, for example, once your wallet is connected, maybe that's where I can put transparent versions of the kittens that you own.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I will tell you one thing. I will be at 3:00 in the morning when the system is done, doing it the cheapest gas possible, and I'll have all of my guys staked. So that's my plan.
It's a good plan. It also so there's a corresponding staking token for every NFT that you have. So let me show you guys something from that really quick, because this is one thing that's kind of cool. So say that I go here. Here's my staked one. Take it. Oh, you need to both approve the staking contract and the non-staking contract, so I'm approving this also.
And that's important that folks understand that, that's part of the process. In fact, everybody that I've seen, there's steps that they have to take for when you get asked from MetaMask, hey, do permission to this and do permission to that. Just make sure you read through it so that you understand what you're clicking on. But it's just part of the process.
Yes. Here, let's go ahead and unstake this. And even with Gwei as high as it is, unstaking is only $3. Now, the reason I'm doing this, I want to show you guys the difference between an NFT that has been staked once by anyone. Basically, there's a corresponding staking pass for each NFT in the set. What most staking things do is that they burn that staking pass and then mint a new one when you go to stake. And I had this little innovation that, well, why are we doing this? Can't we just reuse that thing? The minting is the main part of the cost of the project. So here's this NFT that I haven't staked before. So I'm going to hit stake on that just so you guys see. And I've got let me change my gas settings to just market. So right now it's $7.94 on that one that has, never been staked, which is already down from earlier. So now let's wait for this to load up. Here's this one that has been staked before, and I've never tried this before, but it should, in theory, be, let's go to market, half price. Look at that. So that means at like 1 in the morning or in the middle of the night, that'll be like $1 or $2. Oh, look, 420. Hippie, it's 420. Is that your magic staking number, Hippie?
Oh yeah, let's go.
So the important part about this, guys, is that that's permanent. It's not for each of you. So if one of you at some point picks up a kitten that has been staked before, there is a corresponding staking token for it that has already been created. So after the first run of people staking these, all of them will be half price to stake. Incredibly cheap.
Is that so? I mean, this is a technical thing, but is that because like there has to be like an initiating mint for the staking token, and then it really doesn't have to do that again? It's just more like a transfer. Is that the reason why?
That's exactly right. So basically, there is your NFT, and then there is your staking token version of the NFT. When you go to stake the first time, it will mint your staking token and send it to you. So what happens there is that, the first time is a mint. Normally what staking contracts do is they burn that staking token, and then the next time someone goes to mint, they will mint a new one to send to that person. And the innovation I had was, well, why? I was like, can't we just store that token that's already been created? That, by the way, if you guys don't know what the word token means in this case, when you create an NFT, it is a form of, the technology is basically the same as a cryptocurrency. NFT means non-fungible token. So each NFT in the set is called a token. So your NFT that you have is a token. The staking pass is also NFTs, but it's an 1135 NFT, which also is a token. So basically, when you go to stake your NFT, you take your Hidden Kitten City or your CockaDoodle, you send it over to the to the staking contract, and it sends you back this token that acts as a representation in your wallet.
What about do my Fashionistas? Can I do that too?
What, Hippie?
Can I do my Fashionistas too?
You can. We don't have rewards set yet for Fashionistas. So for now, I recommend doing HKC and then CockaDoodles when we start announcing the CockaDoodles rewards as well. Did I mention, guys, that CockaDoodles get staking as well? Woohoo!
Yeah, I think you showed us that when you first opened up the awesome interface.
Yep.
Let me ask you the question on that, because that is it the same cost for the staking for a CockaDoodle? I'm just curious.
Yeah, they're all the same cost. And I know right now the CockaDoodles are a little bit low, but the benefit in staking the CockaDoodles will be for entries into some of the stuff that Bree is getting ready on that end.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna have to sell that one, but yeah, I get what you're saying. So
fair enough.
You just did that one to me with what you just said. Now a question for you with the staking in general. Do we do the one-time thing, or do we need to do this like monthly or what?
No, it's a one-time thing. Once they're staked, they're staked. Yeah.
This is my first time doing it on Ethereum, so this is literally, it's so new to me. I've never done this.
Yeah.
It's actually, to be honest with you, just from a standpoint of how I feel with the other project in that, when I got staked and I got my stuff in there and I'm kind of doing it, I feel like I'm then committed as a part of the project. I feel like I feel like, I don't know, to me, you get rewards. You kind of like saying I'm committed, and that, I don't know, it makes me feel like I'm more part of the project in that. So I kind of look forward to when we get it fired up and getting my guys locked in. That mentally, that's kind of where I'm at.
I can see that. I kind of feel that way sometimes. That's yeah. I thought I was alone.
Oh, I'm glad, man. And also, I'm excited for the things that we can, little extra things that we can add on that too. Oh, I haven't been looking in Purgatory. Has anyone been asking any questions? Team Ariane King, love and miss you guys. Oh, good to hear from you, Ant King. Miss you too.
Yeah, bro, I've missed you. I've been extremely busy. You know how this time of the year can get, but I'm back around and excited to be back with all the hidden kittens, and can't wait to connect with you.
Nice.
Holiday season is good for you and yours, my friend.
Yes.
Hey, speaking of you and yours, can everyone send a little bit of love to Dark Ghost? He just got out of an operation, and you mentioned he's in a hospital bed. Dark Ghost, great to have you still with us and doing well. Sending you a lot of love, brother. Feel free to not talk. Just sending you love, man. And if anyone else wants to speak up or send a message in Purgatory to Dark Ghost, feel free to say something.
Yeah. My DM's always open if you get bored and want to chat, my friend.
Yeah, same. Oh, Homer just said, quick recovery, Dark Ghost. Much love. Oh, yeah, sending you a lot of love, brother. Let's see.
Hey, Josh.
Hey!
Thanks, man.
Hey, man. You doing all right?
Yeah, recovering. It's a struggle.
Oh, well, any time you're bored, my DMs are open. Hippie's DMs are open. Send a message. We're here, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I just sent you a friend request any time of the day, man.
Thanks, mate. That's awesome.
And Hippie will do a bong rip for you if you can't do one in the hospital.
Yeah, I need one, man.
I mean, let's just say every part of every hit that I
They
take is
don't allow that in here.
They don't allow it in there?
No.
King Ant just said, Dark Ghost, keep your head up, my friend. I'll be praying for a speedy recovery. If you ever need someone to talk to, do not hesitate to hit me up also. Let's see. So, guys, I'm really excited about this. Getting this going is the start of a nice new chapter. Also, I have a little bit of an apology for you guys. We were so on the run with Art Basel, and then I got really sick afterwards, and so did Bree, while still being out of town, and made it a little bit harder to keep up on some stuff. But, I'm gonna mute you temporarily, Dark Ghost, because it sounds like you got someone in the hospital. There you go. But we are back now, and as you can tell, we've got tweets going again, and also starting up a few things, including we are going to be soon featured on a Web3 trivia website. It's one of the people we met at Art Basel, so we'll have an announcement about that soon. Also, we're going to be doing a special Christmas giveaway for you guys, so keep an eye on the Twitter profile in the next couple of days, and we'll have this DApp launch soon. As you can see, it's already working. The staking's already working. The things I want to get in place are the verification systems like Alphabot, making sure that that's working, and also Collabland as well, so that as you guys stake, you keep your 9 lives rolls and those kind of things as well. Rhiannon, I think Rhiannon's asking a question here, which is about the gambling table, and getting staked kittens extra on the gambling table. We could do that. We could definitely do that. Stakekins could get a little extra coin in there. The gambling system isn't officially our, if we did come up with a reward system, it wouldn't be officially through the gambling table, but that is definitely something we could add in there. Let's see.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Let me throw this one out. Can you do so? Would it be possible to actually have like cross-chain rewards? So if we had something on, forget about that other project I was talking to you about a while ago. Kind of different one that basically I'm kind of having fun with, sat on this little farming thing. But if we had something we wanted to basically kind of throw out as like a prize for folks that was on Polygon for that particular piece, maybe a pack of wheat or whatever the case is in that, to get people going, would that be something you'd be open to do, and then throw that into the pool?
Yeah, I've been actually looking into Polygon for some rewards.
Okay.
I hear that some of the art rewards that World of Women does is on Polygon, and I hadn't totally looked into it, but yeah, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't Polygon work off basically your same address as your?
It does.
Okay.
It does. Yep. Yeah, I really like Polygon from the standpoint of it's super cheap to do stuff on Polygon and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, something to think about if you want to do like a second part of the reward system on Polygon would be maybe to do a cross-chain type thing. And actually, there's a really good bridge system that has a good team on it called Umbria Narnia bridge. That bridge I use it all of the time. If you want to move money or anything, basically money to Polygon F and stuff like that, super cheap. I mean, like I've saved so much money with that bridge.
Interesting. I'll
send you the info.
Yeah, send it over. I don't know if it would be necessary to bridge it, because the types of rewards that we would be doing would be, like I said, we're not giving out ERC20 tokens, which means they don't need to be bridged. Oh, Dark Ghost just said, thanks,
That's
Curious
true.
Josh, Hippie, Homer, Team Ryan King, much appreciated. Right on, brother.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, appreciate you.
I was thinking more like if you want to do any type of functionality over there, anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Now that's interesting. Let's brainstorm on that if we need to go that route.
It could be like 6-7 months from now. You know what I'm saying? Just something that we could research together. So
I like that, and I like the idea of researching it with you too, man.
Sure.
Yay! It's good to have you back, brother. Let's see. Oh, one of the other things too is that at some point what we'll probably do is move our our entries for whitelist giveaways to be for staked people, and I wanted to make a note about that because I know that a lot of people here are new to NFTs. It's really important to understand how to use whitelists in NFTs. During the bull market, getting a whitelist was like a money printer. And it's one of the reasons why it's so great. As a lot of people have noted, in the bear market, it's not always so clear. And just because you win a whitelist doesn't mean you should use it. But it's good to have the opportunity because, when you end up with a whitelist for something like Valhalla, or something like the Mutant Hounds, it can really turn into something. But at some point, I think that I want to do a not financial advice class on trading NFTs in the bear market, so that people understand why a whitelist is good, how to avoid bad ones. But it's one of the things I really wanted to lay out for you guys as we do have whitelists and get them as some of the rewards. I don't want people to think that that's an endorsement to just jump into them. And I want to give you guys the tools for understanding how to evaluate an NFT launch and whether it's doing well or not and all those kind of great things.
Yes.
Hey, I was going to say on the whitelist thing, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I've been with my private group, I've been super fussy about this. And the whitelist thing, I mean, I'm more about mentally where I'm at about functionality. So if I get an opportunity to mint something that has like a game aspect of it or some type of functional piece to it, then I'm much more encouraged, much more enticed to basically go that route. The buying the NFT that is basically based on, well, I guess let me say it this way. Let me just put it bluntly. Buying the promise of something to be soon TM is something that I'm certainly trying to avoid at this point in time. I got smacked so many times on that. So when I see a project come up, it's kind of like I want a little bit of a write-up as to what the heck is this? Why are we supporting it? Why is it something that we want a whitelist type thing? If we could talk about it or something like that. Because just throwing whitelists out there basically on projects that haven't been necessarily researched or acknowledged as being good projects per se, and I'm not even saying like it's a guarantee that it's going to make money. I'm just saying from a standpoint of like it's a project that's going to give you some type of smile, right? It's going to be like, oh, it's going to have a game with it, or it's going to have like a cartoon with it, or it's going to have something with it, or like, it doesn't even have to make money. It just gotta, what exactly am I getting out of it? Because if I just get a whitelist to something that is just throwing money into a hole, then man, I just don't want to do it personally. But that's kind of where I'm at.
That makes a lot of sense. One of the issues that's hard is that it's hard to know. It's hard to know which projects are throwing money into a hole until closer to mint, but the opportunity to get the whitelist from them comes up earlier. So often a good strategy. Hold on a second. Alex has a question too. So often a good strategy can be to end up getting, the whitelist earlier, and then making more evaluations on them as they come closer to mint.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, if we could have like maybe some sessions of discussion about that type of stuff, like you were saying earlier, that would. And it's not like you're saying I'm endorsing this. It's like saying, hey, we're looking at these projects. We got them whitelisted. These are things to look for. These are things to think about, and that those types of coaching, I guess that's the word I'd be looking for, would be good. It's not an endorsement. It's basically more like, this is the reason why anybody might want to think about this, and this has got to put so many mights and stuff like that on it.
Right.
But
right.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. I think
through like Josh's vetting process and stuff. I like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's kind of like, honestly, we on my little baby private group I got with like the folks that are on that, we got like 6 projects basically that we're, you guys are obviously in it, and that we basically have sort of said these are projects that we're okay with, even though one we're getting really beat up on, we're still with it. So, but it's that vetting process that I kind of want to know, that like we're not just throwing a bunch of whitelists out there and it's like, hey, good luck guys. It's more like these people we should be a little excited about because of X and X.
Right, and also a little bit about like what to look for, because like
yeah, exactly.
Homer and Alex, I'll get to your question too. Just right after this topic, Homer put out the write-up on Orange was perfect. I know the project didn't survive, but it gave us great insight. It's a great point. Orange was a very hyped project that looked like it had a lot of potential, a lot of interest, but then some FUD came out on it, like I think it was like the night before it minted or something like that, and in a lot of ways killed the project. So it's interesting how projects like that can turn, but also one of the reasons why it's so important to have kind of coaching and understanding on it. And we actually ran a few classes in CockaDoodles on this, but I noticed we haven't done anything like it in Hidden Kitten City. We've got a lot of new people in here who are also like newer to NFTs. So I think it'd be really great to do something like that, some kind of coaching, and also just kind of more fun to keep the community together. Like, hey, what's some of our whitelists that are coming up this week? What are we looking for? A little like a little community hangout on the state of NFTs, right?
Well, like, I'll say when you did that, and when you mentioned you just did it in CockaDoodles a few times,
Yeah.
that was really beneficial when that was done.
Noted. Good.
I would be in favor of that. I mean, you got to look. My perspective is one thing. My wife, every time I buy a new NFT, rolls her eyes. I'm trying to get out of that. I'm trying to get some wins, right?
well, one of the things is very interesting. Nate Alexander pointed this out. It's hard to identify your wins in a bear market. In a bull market, it's really easy.
No, that's really true.
Yeah.
The win could be 6 months from now, right? In the end.
Right. Like,
what do you got wins?
Like the win could be that you're getting something amazing at a discount. I mean, look at Doodles. They hit like 5 or 6 ETH at one point. Homer put, you guys are getting wins. There are a few wins out there, man. Mutant Collars was just a win.
I want some multi-chain wins.
Yeah, you got. So the one thing I really want to. So art gobblers, that particular one. I looked into that, and there's one thing that I was really, really sketch about those sales. A bunch of wash sales, basically, to essentially make the price look like it was actually higher than it was. And I had predicted that the base price was going to drop down to 2 ETH, because if they could suck up enough people into it, about 2 ETH is basically where they were going to bottom out. And right now it's at 2 ETH. Only strictly because of the fact that you have to take into account the gas fees, the charge for OpenSea, and the creator fee on top of it. And when you took all of those things into account, it made sense that basically anything that's sold essentially would have to drop down to about 2 ETH for them to break even. And that's where it is right now. So one thing I'm really skeptical about is anything that shows me really high prices. Until somebody pays me that price, I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. I think it's basically a game right now to essentially, and that's if you look at the Trump cards, right? Granted, they're all, crap art and stuff like that. Same thing happened with those. If you look at the statistics and the sales on them, basically everything got sold at, what was it, $100? You take into account essentially, sales and stuff like that, OpenSea charges, $200 makes sense in terms of where the bottom is. Anything below that, everybody's losing money.
I hear you. It's a good theory that pan out there, but I'll tell you, I don't think that's what's making the determination. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Every NFT, and you'll get to know this as you work with them a lot, every NFT usually will have an initial run-up after it sells out. Ours was kind of an exception because of how long it took us to sell out and kind of like what happened with the floor. It's really interesting and continues to be interesting. But what most NFTs will do is if they sell out, they'll do a run-up, and then they'll retrace because there's consolidation. It's like what happens is no one wants to sell when they think they're going to make more money. So that's basically what you saw with Trump. And it's what you saw with art gobblers. With art gobblers, everyone thought, I'm going to make more money. And so the price went up and up and up and up and up. You've got more buyers and sellers. It hit a high point, and then it came down. And you'll see this with all of them. What happens next is what's interesting. Even Moonbirds, on their first day, they ran up to 12 or 13 ETH or something. And this is when ETH was a lot more than it is now. So $3,000. And it went down to 7 ETH, and I almost bought one then. I'm looking at it. And then after it did that, it shot up to like 20 to 30. The reason why NFTs do this is what happens is people buy in, they see the price going up, they sell off into consolidation, or they sell off, then it consolidates and the price comes back down. And then as buyers absorb the inventory, it'll shoot back up again to hit a high point. Where it goes, and then usually even come back down from that. Where it goes after that depends on things like ongoing utility. Regardless of how you politically feel about Trump, the drop was fascinating because it's one of the first NFT drops that got major press coverage ahead of time, ever. And it's really interesting to see what can happen when one does. Personally, I predicted in a chat that I'm in that was going to shoot up and then it was going to come back down because there was no ongoing utility. But if they convince enough people to get in, it would shoot up at first. I don't know if 200's the bottom on that one. What happens over time is that if you don't have someone in there and developing it and doing more stuff with it, the bottom just keeps getting lower and lower and lower because people panic sell because they don't want to lose their investment. The Trump one's a very...
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. The Trump one's a very interesting case because you have so many people that don't know NFTs that just might think, hey, I'm going to hold on to this to collect for Trump. But you do have enough people who were looking at it to make money that they're getting out now, and I don't know where the bottom is on that. I don't know if,
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, I think the other thing too is that you got to keep in mind is that there's a bunch of people that bought on that website that got airdropped into like accounts. They don't have even a clue even how to get into them, right?
That's right.
So you got that kind of piece on it too, right? So
yeah,
you know.
but there are enough listed on OpenSea. I mean, I think I checked like 15% or some huge amount listed on OpenSea that there are enough people that understand how to trade it, who are listing them that it could affect the price. But right, yeah,
I agree.
Crazy unknowns. But these are the kind of things that I think would be great to go over in a class. And Alex, you played those Trump ones and you got a win off of that one. I see you put, damn, those times are hard, but Trump finally made me a little win.
I mean, honestly, if you could have bought in early and sold about second or third day, yeah, you made money. I mean, it was almost guaranteed at that point.
Yeah, and most of the people who were new to or don't normally do NFTs but do crypto, who I told like, hey, it's going to go up, then it's going to come down. Most of them are thinking like, oh, it's I've got this for the long term. It's not coming down. The Trump ones now, and the Trump ones in particular, I don't think they're promising anything beyond the initial sweepstakes. So I don't really know. I don't really know what the long-term play is.
You're gonna have a really good dinner, with meat.
but that was the initial sweepstakes. But anyway,
it was, yeah.
Anyway, let's leave Trump for a minute. The important part is I do really love the idea of us doing more spaces together and kind of going over NFT trading and even like little insights like this about what to look for. Like on that set, you can look for the volume on OpenSea. You can see how many are being sold. There's tools like Ktten that we went over and NFT nerds that can show you these things. And I think it's important for people to understand that.
Yeah, one thing on that is that if we could have a channel that just lists links to resources that we think are good resources, those would also be helpful. Because I kind of do that in my private group. Mm-hmm. It'd be great to have like this link is to this one, and that way people aren't like trying to find it and they're going to some sketchy McSketch site and getting hacked, right? But if we have already checked out some of this stuff, it'd be good to kind of post it there.
I have something like that in CockaDoodles. Maybe we can add that in here. I'm a little worried about channel creep, but let's see what we can do. By the way, speaking of Alex, hey guys, sorry I can't talk English on VC, but want to know more about the reward system being part of too many failed staking, like huge amount in the space right now. How will it work? How will it be some reward? Will it be based on staking time, or will it be just raffles over the 1,000 kittens stacked? And how will it be sustainable over time? Alex, that is a very, very, very important question that's prominent on my mind. One of the main reasons why we didn't go with an ERC20 based staking was because it's not sustainable over time, I have seen. For example, even the good projects like Cool Cats, their token isn't worth a lot right now. And when you start doing staking for value of a token, people look to exit out of the value of the token. So what we're doing instead is staking for rewards. I'm working on the system determining what kind of prizes we can do. And it's interesting because there are some that we can do for a wide amount of people and some that we can do for more limited people. And
I got 15,000 NFTs to give you. Unfortunately, right now they're worth 0.
That's funny. What I'm going back and forth between are some forms of things that we can give out to everybody, and some things that might be very special, like a special reward that we have one of that is a raffle over what's staked. I kind of like both of those. And we're weighing out both of them and seeing what we can do on both sides of it. Another thing too is, ongoing, we can also make some of the staking rewards things that we give out, like the whitelist can be raffle over staking people and not just anyone on the server. One of the reasons I like that is that it rewards people that are more invested in the project. And I think it's also what Zooverse does. The reason why we're going that route is, Alex, for exactly that reason, so it can be more sustainable over time. Even if things get bad, we can probably come up with something really cool to raffle for everybody that would make people think, damn, I wish I had won that. And that's one of the reasons why I thought it'd be good to go with this system over an ERC20 token-based system. Does that answer your question? Let me know if it does in chat. And also, does anybody else have any other questions about staking or anything in general? Feel free to drop them in chat if you do. And welcome Jiggy.
I was going to say, one of the things I was going to comment on was, some of these NFTs, obviously, if you only got a supply of like 5,000 and stuff like that, or 3,000, the idea of those as rewards is good. I mean, honestly, people are going to be encouraged to use those, but you can only do that so much, right? So some of these, if some of these games basically produce NFTs, like this farming thing we got, it actually produces NFTs. So if we found like a few games that folks liked and they produced thingies that we could basically offer up as rewards, Gods and Chain and stuff like that, those types of things might be options for us as prizes, and that way they don't cost everybody an arm and a leg, but still we can have fun with them and stuff like that. Just something to think about.
I mean, maybe we can do collabs with other projects as well and get you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I know that this it's Sunflower Lands, basically the one that melted Polygon is what me and Sad Samurai's on. And you do basically create crops and that kind of stuff, but they are doing collabs. I know that, so maybe we could try to do something with them, something to think about. So.
I like that. I'm also noticing, guys, that there's some people talking in the chat of the Q&A. So let me just read. Gway is 37 right now, nice and clean. I think what Hippie wants to know too, what are the benefits for us to stake? Homer, I think I spoke some about that. We'll talk more about the reward system and what kind of rewards are coming out when we release the staking system. We'll have some little hints for you guys what's going on there. Sad Samurai asked, Homer said that was 40 minutes ago. Sorry guys, I was looking at the Purgatory chat, not the chat window for this. Sad Samurai asked, when does staking goes live? What's the advantage to long-term staking? Just having them staked. We can track the timing on it. I'll talk about rewards over time. We're playing around with the ideas with there being different rewards at times, with different possibilities for the people who've been staking a long time, much like some of the nesting stuff with Moonbirds. And as to when does staking go live, well, you saw the app. It's working. I'm doing the final testing on it. And then, I mean, the contract's already deployed. I did just stake that cat. Basically, now what I'm doing is just going through the stuff around it and making sure that we can, access AlphaBot for giveaways with it. And then one of the big things is going to be setting up the role rewards in Discord. Another thing too is that eventually I think what we'll end up doing is we will tie things like the faction rewards and poker game rewards that will be for people in that faction who are staked. So you have to be staked to get the rewards. So it'll be a good motivation for people to stake. If that sounds good with you, Zeiser, I forget. I think we talked about that, but I'm not sure if we talked about that in the staking context recently. Zeiser, what do you think? If Zeiser can... Oh, Zeiser said, I can't talk right now, but I'm listening. Wonderful. Zeiser said, I like it in chat. Yeah. Like I said, one of the things that's kind of nice about it is that it focuses rewards on people who are here and being participatory. And so it's, it's a nice way to add in little bonuses like that. And you never know when I might go in and say 1 week, hey, for the guys who are staking, we're doing a special giveaway. So there you go. Let's see. Does anybody else have any other questions? If so, put them in the Meow chat or the Purgatory chat.
I'm
Darkos.
throwing it. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, sorry. Darko said phone about to die. Hopefully be back on tomorrow. Have a good day, everyone. God, for a second I thought he said about to die. Hopefully be back on tomorrow. I'm glad it's just his phone. What were you saying?
I'm trying to hunt down on Sunflower Land as to who the admin team rep is for them. So if you want to, I'm going to try to hook you up with the right person and stuff like that. So I'll do my homework on it for you there, Josh.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
Yep.
Alex asked, or Rian said, Alex, there will be more announced other rewards associated with staking. Currently just testing the staking site. There will not be token. Yep, that is accurate. A hot pick. I may have missed it, but are we still getting 1 kitten for every 3 CockaDoodles held from Mint? And is this being recorded because I'd love to listen when I'm off work? Yes, this is being recorded. And yes, so the first, I should mention this for the CockaDoodle, the people who are holding CockaDoodles. So as you guys know, when we lowered our supply, what we agreed to and what everyone got excited about was that our available supply for trading is going to be 3,333, and then there's going to be the remaining up to 5K is going to be available to mint directly into locked staking. So that means people will have the chance to have one, but it's going to be locked up in staking. They won't be able to trade it, so it won't affect the trading supply. And one of the big reasons for that was for rewards for all of our faithful CockaDoodle holders, who, well, there are 2 reasons for it. One of them is because, as you guys saw, there's so much variety in the artwork that we wanted to make sure that there were more in the set, and that we had more flexibility in the set for when the full thing was released. And the other one is so we can reward CockaDoodle holders. Hot Picks asked, I may have missed, but are we still getting 1 kitten for every 3 CockaDoodles held before mint? And the answer to that is yes. I'm going to do that in 2 phases. Now that we've got the staking going, one thing I should let you guys know is the contract is upgradable, so I can add features to it. Very important, and a very good thing. Once we get the staking launched, then the next version of the staking contract that I'm going to release is one that has a mechanism where I can, where we can mint a new NFT directly into staking with a lock on it, so that we can have CockaDoodles able to mint that NFT and have it locked into staking. And a couple of things that are important about this. In the first version, what we're going to do is we're going to make it so that anyone who's holding 3 CockaDoodles or more will be able to mint 1 into the staking system. And then I want to see how that goes, and then we'll let it be so that people can mint. If you have like 9 CockaDoodles, you'll be able to mint 2 more, 1 for each set of 3. Since they're not tradable, those ones that are minted, the idea is that they won't really affect the supply. I just want to test that as each person does it, and not just assume that and do them all right away. As you guys can tell, I'm being very measured about this, but that's the reason. And then this way, it enables all of our CockaDoodle fam who were holding and had faith in us to be in here with us. Alex MTL asked, will the lock is forever or can it be unlocked over time? The idea is for it to have the ability to be unlocked over time if the set's doing well enough that it won't affect the floor. So, we're here, we're building. If this goes well, then releasing some extra supply over time won't substantially affect the floor if we do it measured and if we do it into success. And Alex adds, can it be added to the main collection or be separate? This is part of the main collection. So basically what happens is right now the contract, we're not letting anyone mint any anymore. But what we'll be able to do is when I release an update to the staking contract, I can release a new minting contract, which will let the CockaDoodles holders each mint 1, and that contract will have our cap at 5K. Hot Pick, your mic is hot.
She comes back. Let's break enough to the call.
Hot Pick, I'm server muting you for a minute just because your mic was hot. So Alex, it's actually part of the main collection. You are getting Kitten and NFTs. They're going to be locked in the staking contract, so they won't affect the trading in the floor, because that was what everyone wanted and our agreement on it too, and it's good for the set. But the great thing about it is you'll have all the people who have them will have all the benefits of being a Hidden Kitten City member with 1 NFT staked. And then over time, as I said, we're here, we're building. If things go well, if the set starts doing better, then we can start releasing those over time. And with an eye on doing it at the right time so that it's, it works into a supply that everyone's happy with. As you guys can tell, I care very much about all of you and the set, and I'm trying to do my best to set this up so that it's something that's a success for us, and over time works out for the CockaDoodle holders as well. If this does well over time and builds up, then in a successful set, people really won't notice the difference between 3K and 5K. And as a matter of fact, they might actually like it more because, as you guys have seen with the variety of art, I actually, once people saw how crazy the art was, they were like, "Oh God, I wish there were more of these." So we have the best of both worlds. We have some more coming, but they won't be able to be out there and interfering with the trading supply until the project gets to a point where it can sustain that. Does that make sense, Alex? Let's see.
Yeah, I was gonna say actually, Crazy Bears did the same thing. They started off with 1 mint, and then they sort of like trickle out after that. So the dilution effect isn't much, and they have a cap on it. So you have a 5,000 cap. You basically have a little bit of room to wiggle, right? I don't see a problem with it at all. I think it's fine. Other projects have done the same thing.
Cool. I kind of feel the same way, but always being very careful. You guys know me. Measure 3 times, cut once. Zeiser said, I'm still exploring lots of ideas to help make the factions more sustainable, meaning ways to generate income or NFTs that go straight to the community wallet. Could there be rewards from the project that go to factions if a certain percentage of the factions NFT are staked? Oh, that's an interesting idea. Sure. I think we can do something cool like that. Like maybe there's a special faction reward for that month, or something along those lines. I like that, Zeiser. I like that very much. Just thinking. Yeah, that's a fun idea. Yeah, like some gold or something for everyone to work together. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Let's talk. One of the things too that I'm thinking as well is that at some point we can make it so that the faction chats are available to staked people and not unstaked people. And then it's like, how do you get into the faction chat? Stake your kitten. So there you go. Does anyone have any more questions or thoughts? Oh, let me check back in the meows chat. Let's see. What's David's thoughts on staking, and what levels of involvement do you think he'll have? What's David's thoughts on staking? David's not technical, but we've already gone through some reward systems for him. He's, is and continues to be very involved. One of the first potential rewards from that is something fun from him. For me, one of the things that I want to remember is that at the core of this project, people are animation art fans and Simpsons art fans. And in some ways, I'd love to see what we can do with things that are rewards in that vein. So that's I'll say that on that.
One thing, Josh, I think you said they're Simpsons art fans, which is true, but I think you meant like they're fans of his work.
Yes,
and
yes, David art.
Would be getting
right.
Simpsons artwork.
No. Thank you. Right. Well, what Sad Samurai said, mostly what David will be offering as rewards, his art is sought after to me. Yes. Very, very much, Sad Samurai. Agreed. And that's one of the things that we're looking at as potential rewards. So I feel the same way, and I feel the same way. I'll leave it there for now. We already have started talking about some things along those lines. I'm not going to say what yet. Homer asked, when is the next Lucky Cat drawing? Sorry, it's off topic. Nothing's off topic, guys. I've already started talking to Jay about what she might want with her drawing. I'm trying to get in touch with other Lucky Cat owners. It is the holidays. Guys, you might have noticed too, one of the other reasons around it's hard to make things move during the holidays, and I have forgotten how hard it is to make things move between the period between Thanksgiving and Christmas. But we are getting things moving. But also, I'm sure a lot more movement will pick up as we head into the new year. Hey, Country Fresh, man, it's good to see your bowler hat, green bowler hat face, brother. Missed you. Let's see. Anybody else have any other questions? And Sad Samurai, did that answer your question about David and the artwork? Because I agree with you on that. I think one of the things I want to think about in all this is, and there is more stuff that we're working on, but that everyone here, one of the main things that got you here is his artwork, and I want to see what we can do to reward you guys in that way. Let's see. Sad Samurai is typing. Just like to hear David us going to be involved in staking rewards, so yes, thanks. Yes, I have already started. We've already started talking with him about it too. Let's see. Anyone else have any other questions while we're sitting here chatting? I think we've covered a majority of the stuff in the staking phase 1. And I'm looking in. While I'm here, let me tell you guys. I don't know if you noticed a couple of other things that we did. One thing that we did was we made a new AL request section in alpha. We can get almost every whitelist spot that's out there because our project's got a big following. We've got 50K on Twitter, and we've made a new request section for you guys. If there's a whitelist that you want to see us get for giveaway, go ahead and put it in there. And also for people who are in the 9 Live Club and above, if you are the first one to put a project in there, you will automatically get a whitelist if we get it. So in some ways, it's almost like having your own little project alpha group to go out and get you guys whitelists on stuff. And we just put that in. Let's see, popping around. Dark Ghost sending him love. Let's see. Anyone else have any other questions?
Well, I was just going to give kudos to the folks that are running the factions right now. Honestly, from what I've seen, we got some quality leaders in those groups and that. It's been really interesting to see how that's played out from a participant standpoint, and just want to give them kudos. So that's my 2 cents.
Dude, same. Yeah, and we've got 2 of them in here right now, Captain Bender and Zizor, and Alan's been working on the Metal Kittens, which I'm excited to see. Oh, and Lisa's here too. She's been working on the Metal Kitten stuff, the sandbox. Lisa, also I've as we do metaverse stuff, I'm excited to put heads together with you on more stuff as well. Completely agree, man. Also, I want to mention, Poker Faction's going great. Rianne's doing great giveaways. Bender has started doing some of the sailing faction. As part of the sailing faction, he started doing some classes on trading, and I just want to make a note of that. Right now, they're open to everyone. One of the reasons, because I'm hybrid. One of the reasons why I'm excited to get that moving, it might seem a little dull to people, but crypto is very tied to the stock market. And understanding what's going on in the stock market can help you know when to buy and sell your Ethereum. It can help you get a good idea about when are good or bad times to get into NFTs, or good or bad times to get out of NFTs. So it's really, really helpful stuff. And very much wanted to make a recommendation for anyone to so far he's done 3 talks so far, and to make recommendations for people to join us, and join in on them, but also to listen to the recordings. And even if you don't want to do trading, it'll be really good to help get an idea over time about this crypto ecosystem that we're in, and things that help you guys constantly. So I just want to bring up that he started doing that because it's the holidays, and I know that a lot of people haven't seen a lot of that stuff. So good thing to pop in on. And let's see. Trying to think if there's anything else. We've got a holiday giveaway we're going to be working on for Christmas. So make sure you guys, if you're around, take a pop in on Twitter if you want to get in on that. And anything else, Bree, that I should talk about that I haven't mentioned? I think we've covered it. Let's see. If you guys have any more questions, then we might. Oh, let's see. Purgatory. Curious Josh is typing out. Sweet. I wait to see what Zeiser is typing before we sign off, and I will take a sip of this drink from my mouth. And if anyone has any last questions, feel free to type them in the chat or in Purgatory. Oh. Thank you for the drink, Bree. Sweet.
Did you say when staking will be available? Have we said that yet?
I haven't said exactly when, but how do I put this? It's done.
Like any good IT system, it needs quality checking and stuff like that. Yep.
Right.
Get it.
Right. Like version 1 is done. What you guys just saw me do during the demo was stake. If one of you was particularly brave, you could probably figure out that URL and go there and stake your NFT. I wouldn't recommend that yet, unless you are a guy who's heavy into IT and you want to, run through some use cases for me and give me any feedback if you have any. But
if you send me the link, I'll do that for you. I'm an IT systems engineer, so I can certainly volunteer.
Oh. Nice. Maybe let's do some testing on that. The one thing that I want to do before we do that is set up the permissions in Collabland for you to be able to access the same groups that you are when you're not staked. Like, the only reason why I haven't made it live yet is that I don't want people to be like, yay, go stake, and then all of a sudden they don't see any of the holders' channels.
Sure.
But then,
yeah, I'm good at finding things that are broken. So
yes,
if you want me to find the broken stuff, I can do that for you.
I will love it. Oh, look. And here's Gilly telling us, I'll teach you how to earn 500K in just 7 days from the crypto market. Oh, spammers. I think that's a little ban there. Okay. Homer, one last for me, selfish one. Any idea when we'll get the signed prints? Ha ha ha! We can make that happen after the holidays. David is coming back from New York on the 28th. Another thing that I want to get set up for sometime early next year is, I don't know how many people are out in California, but I thought a West Coast meetup might be fun, even outside of a convention. And let's see. As soon as he's back, we can work on the sign prints and that kind of thing, Homer, and get that out to you. Zeiser asks, can you touch on your general thoughts regarding collabs and how you envision the project getting involved in future spaces and events? That is a much larger strategy than the than the tail end of a staking talk. But overall, thank you, Homer. I'll read that in a second. But overall, I'm all for collabs. I think one of my biggest challenges in collabs is kind of making sure that or what is our level of making sure that the project that we are collabing with is something that we might or might not recommend to people, because people see us in collab like, oh, this is one to buy. So I'm careful.
No, I agree with you. Actually, that's I think a really important perspective, Josh. Because if you get signed up to something and you collaborate with them, and then that group tanks, then everybody's mad at everybody, and it includes, anybody indirectly associated to it. So yeah, it's good to think that stuff out.
Yeah, I go back and forth on some of this stuff. Like it's a tough one because let's face it, a lot of these NFT projects don't have even a basis in art of a famous artist like we do. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're bad communities. How far down the line does our responsibility go? Also, do we want to expose ourselves to other good communities, even if they might not make it eventually? Which I think is important. So it's a lot to weigh out.
If it fails, then maybe it's like, well, Hidden Kitties is good. Let me just focus over there. And actually, to be honest with you, I think me and my little group have kind of sort of done some of that stuff. We've sort of done some transitions to different groups and stuff like that, because things either ebb and flow on the other ones.
Sure.
So yeah, exposure is always good too. So
yeah. Yeah. And you brought up a really good point, which is like one of our strengths is at the core of it. Even though I got sick for a couple of weeks, you can see we're still here. And people see that and they get it. And that's the kind of thing that makes an important long-term community. God, I've missed talking to you guys. We should do these voice chat and hangs more often. It's really good to hear all your voices. And your chats. Zeiser said, Homer said, beautiful. Thank you, Josh. I've missed these VCs. Me too. Zeiser says, I agree with that too. I've sensed a lot of projects want to latch onto HKC. Yeah, there is an element of that. There's an element of that. And, it's not bad to get the exposure. Like I said, we just have to be very careful about that line between participation and endorsement. So we'll work on that. Anyone else have other questions or comments? Or Goliath, Sad Samurai said, soon TM, ooh.
Exactly. Me and Sad have been through the soon TM ringer and that, but yeah, we're looking forward to. We see the site's real. We see it's working. I mean, that's all the proof I need. So we'll look forward to when it fires up. So.
Oh man, I'm glad to hear that. I'm really glad to hear that. Means the world to me. I adore you guys. I'm happy that you guys are here. And hopefully that's one of the things that really makes our project different, Oh, great. Well, if there are no other questions, I might get back to working on this. And getting other things in the hopper for us to get moving. One thing that I'm really excited about is I'm hoping that this shows is once we get a central hub where we can verify your wallets and holdings, we can start doing things, potentially fun things with them. There's a few things I have in mind that I think can be fun little add-ons and utility. So I'll just leave it at that. And anybody have any other questions? It's been really amazing hanging out and chatting with you guys again, enough so that it makes me realize how much I've missed this the last couple of days or weeks when we were on the run. Kitten said, can't really chat in the moment. Thanks, Curious Josh. Any word on the next 101 reveal? Excited about the staking. Me too. David has actually shown me one of the other 101s. It's really interesting. I think that we might want to get another 101 in the queue before it, but it's really cool. So like, yes, more stuff is coming. It's actually one of the things that I'm planning on talking with him about when he's back. It's a little bit hard. That's one of the things that's a little hard about connecting with over the holidays. But when he's back, we should have more of a schedule on those and when they're coming out and that kind of stuff as well. 100%. Yay! Aw. Let's see. Anybody else have any questions? Bender's talking. Zazer's talking. I'm looking through the chats here. You guys can see me like scrolling through these, seeing if anybody has any last questions before we head out. But I think that's about it. Guys, happy holidays. I'm around. I'm around and look forward to more of these chats with you guys. And I guess we'll talk soon. Just checking, see if there's...
Josh, when movie?
When movie night?
Yeah. Or it doesn't even have to be at night. Like, just movies that are fun during the holidays. Especially where so many people are getting so much snow now.
Let me think about that one, and maybe I can get something going. Yeah, one of the reasons Corky couldn't be here today was that he's without power. Yeah, Buffalo's without power.
Yeah, he's trying to take care of Robin and everybody without power.
Oh my goodness, man, that's just crazy.
Yeah, I had a question. Sorry, I just had a question that's come up on something. Okay, so the question is that I think we all heard about the 5K number way back when Mint happened, and we kind of stopped it at 333, and then we basically held back. For the rarity calculation, are the ones that are in the ones that are being held back factored into the rarity number? Because I thought that we had said that it was. I just want to confirm that.
No, they're not factored into the rarity number, but we are using. They were generated at the same time. We're using the same rarities on them, so there might be some more that come in, but it's not like all of a sudden we're gonna get like 30 Groucho noses that were chilling at the back.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay. All right, that makes sense.
Cool. Very, very, very important. What is Zyder's saying? This is why I can't talk in VC. How about you? Getting ready for Aristokitten's poker night. Zyzer, are you getting a pedicure? Is that what that is?
Do you want to know?
He is. I had my first pedicure recently, and I'm kind of jealous. Bree took me because she had an appointment, and I never had one before, and my feet have never felt so nice. So my wife got me hooked.
I'm telling you, man, it's a thing you got to do. It's definitely worth it.
How many of us have had pedicures?
I don't like my feet.
Hippie, this might
like your feet better though if somebody basically does the pedicure. Then your feet might be your friends.
No. No.
Zasher says I'm drinking a beer too. Beer and pedicure. Bree, I think we've got a new activity that we need to do.
Sounds like a plan, but I'll take a sweet alcoholic drink instead of a beer.
Yes. What are you thinking? Like fruity cocktail and petty?
Yeah, sounds good.
I love it. And Samurai, I don't know. Oh, 36 Chambers of Shaolin. Okay. I will look up this movie and see what...
It's a Wu-Tang movie.
It's what?
It's the Wu-Tang movie.
The Wu-Tang movie?
Well, it's what the Wu-Tang's 36 Chambers of Death album is based on.
Ah. Oh, how interesting. I don't know that.
Like Shaolin shadow boxing, the Wu-Tang. Fighter style.
You know, it's funny. I'm quite a movie buff, but kung fu movies are not my main. Is not something I know a lot about, except for Shaolin Soccer and Kung Fu Hustle, which are amazing. I love both of those. So maybe we can do a movie night where we learn some. You know those, Samurai? Those are great. Yeah. Maybe we can do a double feature one night. We can throw one of those on, and then you can show me one of. Oh, Royal Tramp. There's another one. I didn't know that. Awesome. His work is just amazing. The camera work in it is just unreal. It's like a walking comic book. His compositions, moving comic book. Guys, this is great. I think I might stop the recording for everyone else's purposes for now, and taking. I'll stop the recording for now. Homer said, "So nice to hear you both, Curious Josh Bree. Nice to see you, chatting and talk with you too, Homer." And Zyler said, "Proof I can take the risk kittens down the fancy path." Yes, pennies for all. Homer says, "Drinks tea with pinky sticking out." Love it, guys. This is great. Really great connecting with everyone. Next week we should talk. I should give a little bit of an Art Basel wrap up. Like I said, a couple of our collabs that we're starting to get, like this trivia collab that we've got coming up next week, and also some other things like appearances on Spaces, even some talks with a really big artist in the space, kind of all come out of Art Basel. I know for some people it might not be clear why we went there. This is the best way I can describe it. Right now, the actual NFT industry is so small, and there are so many scams out there, that in a lot of ways, the only way to really reach people is to go to something like Art Basel or NFT NYC, because the people who actually do things coalesce there, and then you get to talk to them and make connections that can lead to collaborations, because they get that you're real and invest in the space too, and a real face. And I mean, I can't talk yet about all the possible things that came out of it, but it was good for us for that. We were there, and I'll try to talk about that more over time. And if anyone has any kind of private questions, feel free to ask me about it. But I'll say that after that, we've got better connections with like Sappy Seals. We've got better connections with Doodles, and other players like reconnect with a friend of mine who runs Ape Tank, which we'll probably end up being on, this Web3 trivia space and more. And it's one of the reasons we went out there. So I just thought that was important to mention. And I think with that, I will close the recording and go off the record. And what did someone just post in Purgatory? While no more recording alpha. Yeah, so I'll stop the recording. I'll tell you guys all the secret stuff that's going on. It's make everyone jealous that they didn't get here. So we're on the recording. Anyone on voice want to say goodbye to the recording? Say bye.
Bye.
Have a good holiday.
Have a good holiday. I'm gonna stop the recording. Pause up, everyone, and talk soon.